What's up, everybody? It's your boy Scott Lewis, Apartment Gamer and more, here with another Brooklyn Nets Stoop Edition. Here with John, everything BK Nets. What's up, John?
Hey, Scott, good to be here.
How you like the game, man?
Hey, we're the Tank Slayers. I mean, might as well embrace this messy moment. Yeah, if you're a tanky team, we're gonna slay you. It's quite simple now.
Yeah,
Strategy's quite simple. You listen. The Nets, obviously, the Pelicans are in a bad rut right now. They gave up their whole future for Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fears. Am I seeing one or two interesting things about them? But that's the gamble you take. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a long journey. Right now, at Brooklyn, you have a guy like MPJ who is just playing out of his dang mind right now. I mean, his eighth 30-point plus game of the season with the Nets so far. It's a career high in 30
right,
point performances. So he's just on a tear right now. And then Nick Claxton hit the second triple double of his career. Led him blocks tonight, led him free throws tonight. Like, this was probably one of Claxton's best games of his career. Again, against a horrible team, but you'll take that because we said that Claxton needed to have a historic year for himself in trying to come back from what was a horrible, embarrassing, mediocre career low point last year. And Jordy,
right,
so far in his predictions, this one about Claxton has held water so far. This is Claxton's best start to a season without superstars so far of
right,
his young career. So I will give Claxton that. And right now, the two of them, MPJ and Claxton, have formed some type of a duo at top. And you have contributions of some of your rookies. So yeah, they were the driving force tonight. MPJ 35, Clocks 14. Terrence Mann had a Terrence Mann was actually a plus 25. This was the best forwards of his season up to date. So I
right.
guess you'll take that with what you can get from Terrence Mann at this point. He really needs to boost up his value. So maybe this does something for him on the market. Clowney was a quiet night, but still 10 and 6. Yegor wasn't a great night, but like I said on Breezy's show, this guy took the first charge of his career. It's like an absolute quarterback tackle.
Wasn't that something? I
Yeah.
was surprised he took it.
I'm surprised he got up.
Yeah, because
Got the wind knocked out for a second there.
yeah, yeah,
Jaeger's like, okay, this is how it is now. Nah, but Jaeger still had a decent night. 8-4, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, second most behind Clarkson, who had 10 assists tonight. So it wasn't a great performance, but it was a bounce back from what he gave the previous game when he had an upper respiratory illness. So a
right,
better
right.
better performance than last time. Daron off the bench, 16 points. Like, wait, where's this Daron? Where's the Daron that could just be by the rim and put it up in the hoop like nothing? Like, this is against the worst team ever. Like, if he did this against middle teams, I would say Dayron's had a good season so far, but Dayron's had a very up and down season to say the least. But this was a good bounce back game for him. And then Zaire, only 9 points, but Zaire was a plus nine, which was the best off the bench tonight for the Nets. So his defense was key. And then Danny Wolf, I mean Scott, Wolf has already had an automatic connection with the Brooklyn base. I mean, tonight, at the end of that first quarter, even though the bucket wasn't counted, that mid range attempt, that LaMarcus Aldridge midi
Right.
shot he took, that
Sure
was
enough.
come on. That should have been counted. That was money. And then the third quarter, he had another spinning hook, tier shot of some sort. And then we got the new sound now, the woo, the wolf sound,
Now,
which is now
yeah,
hooked up into the building. Like, come on, like he's already got a connection with the bass, and now they have their own music for the guy when he hits a big shot. Like Danny Wolf has really built something so quickly with the bass, with the coaching staff, and like it was just it's so great to see him quickly pick up on things. And so far, when he's been playing in that second unit, things seem to be flowing very well. I mean, Danny Wolf, a point center, something we've never had. He only played 18 minutes tonight, but he was still impactful nonetheless. And then Seraph had a few minutes. Powell has had some okay minutes on defense. Offensively, I just wish they would let Powell run some more sets. Having one bucket a night, I expect a little more from Powell at this point, and I believe in Drake Powell a
right.
lot. So I just want to see him get more confident in taking more shots because there's
You
more
think
to
they're
his
gonna?
game.
Do you think they're gonna put him in the G League before to let him get some confidence and then come back?
I don't think you have to because defensively he's still very sound. He's one of our best defensive players. He's been playmaking well for the most part as a secondary playmaker, which I think Jordy's asked him to do for the most part.
Right.
And he's made the most of the shots that he does take. Like the shots that he does take, they all look great. That's the thing. It's like we just want to see more. but I don't think he has to go to G League. I think for him right now, the best experience is going up against the best and the worst teams and seeing if his defense and offense can eventually be in sync together. I think the defense athleticism has been there. It's just the offense is as consistent. But he doesn't need the G League right now. He's already a few steps ahead on the physicality of his game. It's just consistency with offense. And Nolan Traore, shout out to that kid. He had a 30-point performance, career
In the
high
G League,
last game in
right?
the G League. And then
Yeah,
tonight, he had another great performance. If this guy keeps it up, I said it on
they're
Twitter.
gonna call him up.
Terrence, I said Terrence Mann, Tyrese Martin, or Jalen Wilson. One of you better have your bags back because if he gets called up, one of you guys are going. So
Yeah,
see what
yeah.
happens
If
there
if
too.
if he improves and come into the league, come back and just show half of what he showed in the G League, yeah, it's trouble for somebody. Somebody's getting off. Yeah,
Right.
because
Yep.
that's the one key that I think they really need to work on right now is giving him an opportunity to showcase what he done in the Euro League.
Right, and it's good that he's building up confidence. But if we could get the whole Flatbush Five up here before the trade deadline, we're already a few months ahead of far as them just getting more time and experience on the court. So I'd be happy for that. And no Tyrese Martin tonight. I know they wanted to play him with like a minute and change to go, but Danny Wolf hit like another knockdown three, and it was like, get your journeyman ass back to the bench, Tyrese Martin. We
Yeah,
don't need
yeah.
you. Like it's good that Jordy's just now going away from him. Like, listen, Tyrese gave a lot of effort when he could. He's guy's a bucket scorer, but he's no like top core piece of our future. He's a decent vet, but you don't want him taking opportunities away from young guys and sitting him down. You can just see the young guys get more time. Even though Seraff only had 7 points, he still played 20 minutes. Those were Tyrese Martin's minutes that were
Right.
given to Seraff because Seraff is giving you defensive hustle. He had 4 assists off the bench, most assists of the night, and he's just giving you more effort on defense. And the thing with Tyrese Martin is, I don't think he plays any defense. And his last few starts that honestly shouldn't have had, they were mediocre at best. So maybe this is the challenge that I told Jordy to give to this guy, Tyrese Martin. You gave it to Zaire, now you could give him the challenge, see how he responds. Just be fair. So it's good that the young guys are now getting more opportunities. And Jalen Wilson, same thing. I just think his bags are packed at this point, and I just feel like he's not a long term fixture either. So I think we kind of know that when the deadline starts next week, the three guys that are on the bubble, no doubt, are Martin, Wilson, and Terrence Mann. Those are three guys that we will agree are eventually out the door. And now to a bigger thing with this MPJ and Claxton thing. Listen, for right now, it's working in the system Jordy's creating. He's using MPJ as the main offensive cog. Putting Klein into starting lineup allowed Claxton and MPJ's games to open up more. And then Claxton, he's benefiting off a lot of his assist passes to MPJ, who's been our offensive guy. So right now that's working, but we also got to remember we have a lottery pick in a few months. We're going to beat a lot of bad teams when we keep going at this pace with MPJ and Claxton carrying a lot of the burden. So you have to ask yourselves, let's say when June comes and we draft not top 4, not even top 5, but 6 to 8 again, are we seriously committing to MPJ and Claxton? We're making $60 million combined of our cap to be our 1 and 2 with the rookies going forward. Personally, if you want to keep MPJ as a second or third option, I understand that. But if you want to trade Claxton, I understand even more because as much as he's done well this season with the playmaking, with the free throws and all that, he's still undersized against the best bigs in the NBA. And you have Danny Wolf, who's a legit point center. I get some people want
I
to call Claxton that right now, but to be a point center, you run offense. Claxton, he steps in the middle of the court and he makes some right reads now, which is good. But he's not a point center.
I
So if you
think
want to,
I think what the thing with Claxton is interesting. You
They
can't
putting
take away.
Claxton in a short role, bro. Just
Right, right,
the same way they did Draymond in Golden State. He ain't
right.
creating a damn thing, bro.
No,
It's
no, no.
MPJ.
We know all his assists are coming from MPJ. That's a no doubter, no brainer. But the thing is, he has experience. And Danny Wolf don't, and he need more time. He just need time. So getting rid of Claxton now,
You want time? Get a watch.
it's not the
I mean,
right
have you seen
time.
some of Wolf's shots though? Though the shots that Wolf has made, Claxton couldn't even do those 3, 4
No,
years
I
ago
understand.
if he tried.
I'm not saying Wolf don't get no playing time, or let his feet get wet. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we know what he is, and we got him. We ain't letting them go. We're gonna let them play.
Yeah,
But
but he's as a bench
the
piece.
thing is, you just can't. You see how Queen is playing in New Orleans? He's getting dogged. He's
Because he's
getting
the only guy on
dragged.
the team.
Right. And you don't want Wolf to get dogged. You don't want
He's
that.
not looking bad out there. Listen, even his
No,
defense has been better than people thought, but he's not afraid to go to the line. Listen, I get
I
if you
want,
want
I
to keep.
want, I want to, I want to start him. I'm not saying he. I think he's better than Queen as far as the way the system Jordy runs right now. He fit. You know, it is more to the game than just skill. It is also the team and your coach, and there's a lot of things that got to play in your role. I honestly think Queen and Jeremiah Fears got a hard road to go in New Orleans for real.
They do, but you know what? They're the future. They're the future of that team, and this is the thing with us right now.
I
We're
don't
still
know,
trying. We're
man.
still trying to figure out the future. We have Powell. Wait, we have Powell, Yegor, and Wolf that are a part of the future. We know that. My thing with Claxton and PJ is if you go into next year's draft and you draft outside of top five,
Right,
that guy's probably like a Kareem Lopez, not a cornerstone guy, but he could be another bench piece. But it's like
right.
to get a bench piece next year's draft as opposed to a number one franchise guy that you can develop from the ground up, it means you have to either bank on MPJ or Claxton to stick around and get you to a play in, or you go after a big fish. But that's the thing. If you can get that
I
guy in the
don't.
draft, you don't have to worry about that. But my thing is this. Some people are now saying that MPJ is the primary star option. Maybe you could pay him as a superstar. He's doing good as a temporary top guy. That's what you wanted Bridges to be. But if you do get your franchise guy in the draft, you go after another big piece. MPJ easily slides down to a second or third guy, which I'm
Right.
fine with on
I'm
this team.
fine
But
with.
once he's a free agent, though, if he keeps this up for this year and next year, that guy's going to want like 30, $40 million to come back to us.
Well,
And I'm not, I don't think that's a smart move long term because of the
well,
back injury history.
well. We have no, no. Leave, leave. What you think? What you think? Leave. Your mic is low. Your mic is low. Come closer. Come closer. To your mic is low. Leave. You there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. My bad.
Oh, that's all right. Go ahead. What you were saying?
Nah, I wasn't really saying anything, but the fact that this whole notion that I be honest with you, bro. I know what we gonna keep doing. We gonna keep recycling like we've been doing.
Mm,
We gonna keep recycling. So we gonna keep recycling third options like we've been doing. That's
right.
what it's, if we don't get a top pick. I'm not even worried about the picks no more, bro. Because it is what it is, bro. Like the NBA, that shit is in the NBA hands.
Yeah. Either they give it to
It,
us
it
or
is,
not.
bro. Either they give it to us or we don't, bro. We could finish last, bro. We might mess around and finish last and mess around and get the sixth pick, and then everybody talking about yo, the NBA screwed us, bro. The NBA screwed us because they can.
You know what the crazy thing is right now in the tankathon? We're the richest franchise in the bottom 8 or 9 right now. Everybody else is a middle tier, smaller market. Boston right now, if they stay out of this, we have a chance. But if Boston was in this tank with us, they're automatically getting top 3 probably. And then you have the Hawks getting the Pelicans pick, and then OKC has the Clippers pick. Those are like 3 spots right there. So the odds would dwindle for us if Boston wasn't playing out of their minds right now. But to like me and Lee's point here is like MPJ is a fine second or third option if you want to keep him, re-sign him to a cheaper salary. But if he keeps us up the next 2 years, he's going to want $30, $40 million to be a superstar option. He's no superstar. He's a great catch and shoot guy. Most definitely. The rebounding has been great this year. The playmaking assist numbers, he's up to 4 point something assist numbers. That was his biggest weakness. In a month and a half with the Nets, he already has a career high, I think, in assist numbers, which is ridiculous. But he's no star option. For people to say he could be like a Kevin Durant, no, nobody was like Kevin Durant when he was with us. When we had Kevin Durant, we were a first place team, no doubt. This guy is a fine second or third option, but you need a primary star next to him. They can do a little bit of everything. And MPJ, he's doing a little bit of everything right now, but can he do that as he gets older and as his back gets, slightly worse potentially? Like he puts a lot of work into just being healthy on the court. Like for me, I wouldn't want to commit that type of money to somebody like that long term unless he's willing to come back on a slight reduction. But if he does well these next 2 years, Scott, we don't get a franchise guy in the draft. Who has the power in those negotiations? Us or him? Him.
Right.
And he's
Right.
going to
Right.
want us to overpay, like Leaf is saying.
Now
That can't
let's see.
happen.
Now
That can't
let's see.
happen.
Not unless he takes a pay cut like
You
Bronson
have to
did.
You'd have to take a significant pay cut, like maybe like 25 to 30 million. No, 35, 40 mil, because we're gonna need to have cap space flexibility, even if we did re-sign him. And the same thing
Right.
with Claxton. It's like I don't even want to re-sign Claxton on the
Well,
contract because
Claxton's
we know what his ceiling's at.
his contract is going down, so it's not going up.
Yeah, but
He
he's
will
gonna
be,
want another 20 mil probably to stay with us if we kept him. But by then he'd be like what, 28, 29?
but then we still have space, though. We still have a lot of space. You know, you know the cap is 130. I think it's 135 million for the team.
Yeah, but Claxton, unfortunately, he gets dogged by all the best bigs in the NBA. As he gets older, he's going to be like a Dwight Howard, where he's not going to be able to do much on the defensive end anymore, and he'll be
But that's
fouling
the
a lot.
future. That's the future. That I understand
Yeah,
what you're saying.
but that's why he's playmaking a lot more, Nick Claxton, because I think he
He's
knows his
playing
defense
well.
isn't what it used to
But
be.
he's only playing well because MPJ is on the team and he's putting up big numbers. So I'm just saying we always knew Claxton, if you surround him with decent players, his game will elevate. That's what I knew about
If
Claxton.
you surround him with certain archetypes,
Right.
his game would be just fine.
Right. That's what I'm
Realistically, bro,
saying.
like everybody came into the season and saying Claxton don't have no excuse not to put up some numbers.
Right,
Right.
exactly. Because if you got a scorer around you, a pure scorer that can get his shot off at 6'10", you see what I'm saying? And then you got Claxton as a rim runner, and he's probably a premier rim runner because of this right now. I mean, right now his stock is way up. He's playing well. He's shooting free throws. He's hitting his free throws at 70%. Think about it. He's shooting better from the free throw line.
That's
So
true.
I mean, you have to give that
I,
has
you
nothing to
know
do
what?
with
I like
MPJ.
the sample size of 20 something games or whatever.
Right. Yeah, it's
I listen,
cute.
it's
It's
fine,
cute.
but at the same time, I know that we're going to be listen after this next couple of games. I know we're gonna be some shit again, bro. Like and once MPJ 33 start looking like 23 and on bad shooting, bro, everybody's gonna revert back to
Right,
yo
exactly. I understand.
kumbaya
You're
and
right.
let's yo we
Yeah.
back to the Nets we supposed to
It's
be and
it's
this.
yeah, yeah, I
That's
agree,
just
Lee.
it. It's not.
I
It's
agree,
not
Lee.
sustainable. What he's saying is so on point. This guy will be 30 in 2 years. By then, he's going to regress a bit more on the defensive side. He's never been known as a top defender. He's giving you good effort right now, but they have to monitor his health and his back situation. You
Right.
can't make this guy your number one guy and put everything on him. That's not going to lead to anything. Like that's the worry with the Nets. If
I
you don't get a
understand.
top four franchise guy next year, you're forced to make this guy your option because that's your only option. Respectfully, if you get a franchise guy in the draft, you could move MPJ
Now
down to
my
your
thing
second or
is,
third option,
I'm not
potentially.
arguing the draft. I'm not arguing that Boza and AJ DeBosta is not great players, but we don't know.
Oh, we know. Oh, I've seen it.
No,
I've seen with my eyes how
I
good this guy could be.
really don't. I really don't take the draft to the greatest heights. If you are really that dude, we would be saying that they that dude. They
I'm
gonna.
saying it. I'm not afraid to say it. They're
You're
athletes.
saying
There's
that.
athletes in
Are
that
you
draft. We don't have
saying the
no athletes on
bastard
this team
is
besides
going to
talent.
be a league all star coming in? That's what you're saying.
I think AJ the boss out of the four right now, this guy he can score all over the court. He's a finisher at the rim. He
So
can
he's a
dunk.
man
He can
child.
play. He's got a lot. He's got a lot of different
Everything
intangibles.
that you explaining basically saying, bro, like right out of the gate, bro, we gonna get a head honcho, and I don't believe that none of these
No, me
dudes is
neither.
that.
I don't. I'm not seeing LeBron
Well,
It's
Lee,
gonna
James
take some
you
coming
time.
haven't
in.
watched the four of them in college, so
I'm
you
not,
can't really say
no,
that.
the thing is, college is
No.
not proving nothing to me. It never
No,
has.
no, you have to really like. I'm not. I'm not trying to say that they not. All I'm saying is, are they like LeBron James that came in the league? Are they like Michael Jordan when he came in the league? Because we knew what they were. We knew what their skill level were. That's all I'm saying. That's all
Well, if
I'm saying.
you're asking who could be on that barometer, I would say it's between DeBonsa and Peterson right now.
Oh, okay.
The stuff
All
that both
right.
those guys have gotten, like people
All right.
give Peterson the Kobe thing. I'm not going to go there, but just if him to get that from a lot of people who watch this game, that's high remarks for AJ. This guy has marketability as a franchise guy.
I
He's a
understand the
he can
marketability,
score, he can
but
defend, he's an athlete. Like that's something we've never had. So like that's my thing. If you don't get top four next year and you have to get a Kareem Lopez, you're forced to make MPJ or whoever we keep off this roster
so
your main guy.
we betting on the league giving us those top three picks.
No, we could have put ourselves in a great position, but again, we're riding MPJ right now, beating all these bad teams
So
with his
I'm just
offense.
saying, are we betting on a
A
draft
draft.
pick?
There's no such thing. There's no such thing as great position.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Are
never
we
has
betting?
been.
Are we betting on a draft pick to bring us out of purgatory? That's
Well, the
what I'm
problem is
saying.
we're tied with the Kings for the fifth and sixth odds right now. Remember six odds last year? I kept saying it. You
There's
get
no
six
such thing
odds,
as great
you're not gonna do
position
well.
for no damn draft pick. It never has been.
But we're the only rich franchise that's going to be in the draft currently right now. So it's like if we get asked out of even top six, that's a huge failure. Like this is the thing. I understand what Jordy wants to win no matter what. He said in his press conference when I came in last year, my goal was to instill winning from the beginning, and he's done that. Listen, this the roster last year overperformed expectations. This roster even is performing expectations because I think everybody expected them to get as many wins as they have right now because really MPJ was your only main offensive focal point. Now you have Clowney being that. Claxton somehow is doing that. And then you have rookies now contributing. And then you have Dayron and Zaire off the bench. And now you're building something competent, but you're also beating up your tanking competition, improving their odds and potentially worsening your odds. And that's where you were last year. So if we don't get top four guy, you're forced to make MPJ this number one guy that some people are willing to go to extreme for because in their minds they believe we won't attract any star talent. The Giannis stuff looks like it's going to be on the fritz. I think Donovan Mitchell of the Cavs is an interesting story because the Cavs have underperformed up to this point. Like there are going to be stars available, but if everybody's saying we got to tie everything to a guy who's had three back surgeries, who has potential off-court issues with his podcast stuff, that's tricky for me. I see him as a 2 or 3, but I'm not going to go anywhere close to this guy being a number one superstar that I could put these rookie guys with long term. We're going to be a top 4 or 5 seed team in the next three to
I
four
can live
years.
with
You
that.
need a
I can
number
live with
one
that.
guy. You need a number one
I
guy.
never said MPJ was the number one guy though.
Oh, I know you didn't, Scott. I know you did. I know
Ah,
you did. But
yeah,
some
yeah.
people are saying it. It's like, damn, we're that desperate right now. We're that desperate to make this guy the one guy. He's a 2 or 3. If you get the franchise guy in the draft, this is your 2 or 3 guy, and then maybe one of the guys we draft this year is our third guy. Then it could work. But
What you
again,
think?
if you
What you think, Jamal? What's up, Jamal?
hey Jamal,
Jamal, you there?
I don't know if it. Listen,
Yo, yo, y'all can
what
hear
I
me?
was about to say
yeah, we can
is
hear you,
that
Jamal.
Uh, I hear what y'all saying. You know, I'm gonna always be the different voice sometimes. But why can't MPJ be the number one?
To
Why?
be
Well,
number
right now he is.
But I'm
right.
saying why he can't be the
hold
number
on,
one?
Jamal. The question you really want to ask is why can't he be in the number one on a winning team? The
Right.
question
That
is
might be different.
the reason being is because of time. Time
Yeah.
has passed for him to be a number one on a winning team. That ship has sinked and gone so many years ago to the point, bro, where nobody's even acknowledging the fact that like his number one status right now. Nobody's even acknowledging the fact that his number one status right now is based on the fact that, bro, like we in the shitter, and that's probably where we're gonna stay for some time. But let me tell you this: the reason why I'm not banking on no pick to fix all of this, bro, like, because we only have one, is because no matter what the Bonsa does, no matter what whatchamacallit does, no matter what none of them dudes do, they're gonna go to some shit franchises. That's where they're going to be next year, and they're going to be in charge. Like winning as a number one option is not easy in this league. It's not an
Mhm.
easy thing to do. It never has been, and it's going to get harder and harder and harder, bro, as the years go on, bro. Look at LaMelo. Look at Trey Young. Look at John Morant. Look at all these players, bro. That look at Zion, bro. You gotta have sustainability. You gotta have a whole bunch of things go your
Go your way.
way.
I agree.
You
That's
do,
I could
fair.
bro.
I
Like
Well,
could
so,
name
like,
some names for
bro. You
y'all,
could
right?
tell me all day. So the tankers could tell me all day about the talents of AJ DeBonsa or the Caleb Wilson or all these dudes, bro. The thing is that they're going to be on shit ball clubs. The
yeah, but
rookies on our team. The one thing about it, the rookies on our team are being pushed along little by little. They're being pushed along little by little, bro. And I think this is the right way to do it. One way or the other. This time next year, bro, somebody on this team that has
Somebody got
got
to step
drafted to
up.
this team, bro.
They got to step up.
So let's talk about the drafts, right? From
Yeah.
2015, I got a name, right? And it was a top three pick. Where are they now? Jaleel Okafor,
not in the NBA anymore.
right? Gone,
Right.
right?
Yep.
D'Angelo Russell, what is he?
He's with the Mavs right now as like a backup guard.
And he
Yeah.
was number two. He was a number two pick projected at as a game changer, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Markel Fultz, 2017, number one pick, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Lonzo Ball, number two pick.
Yep.
Jason Tatum, number three pick,
Champion.
right? Josh Jackson, number four pick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of. You
It's
need a lot
it's
of luck.
it's DeAndre Ayton, number one pick.
Yeah. You need a
Marvin
lot of luck.
Basley, Marvin Basley the third, number two pick. Luka Doncic, number three pick.
Right.
Mo Bamba was a number six pick.
Yeah.
Now
You know what I'm
listen,
saying?
you're right,
It
Jamal. Some
it's
of these
it's it's a crapshoot. It's you
Yeah.
really
You need
you
luck.
don't know
it,
what
it
these players gonna turn into. That's
it's
all
a
I've been saying.
it's a crapshoot, but the top four, everything I've seen, get one of those guys, like it could really change you for the better because these guys are coming in with multi versatile skill sets. Not just one could score and does nothing else. They all could do a little bit of everything, which is great and something that we value because if you want to play positionless basketball, you got to be pretty much good at everything to play that type of way. And for the Nets, we have some pieces. My thing with MPJ that I agree with Leaf about was if this guy was, let's say, 24 years old, 24, 20 years old, then maybe I could see the number one
Hmm.
option thing. And also, if he didn't have the three back surgeries, I could definitely see this guy potentially. But he's had the surgeries. He even said it before the season began. I'm taking this year by year. It's great that he's having a great year, a career year. That's all fine and dandy. It's been a month, right? He's doing great.
Hmm.
But long term, he'll be 30 in 2 years. He's going to want a new contract. If he keeps up the numbers from this year and next year, he's going to want a 35, $40 million salary on his team. As a third option, if we had a franchise guy in next year's draft, maybe we can entertain it. But I'm not giving that guy no 35, $40 million. He's a fine third
Oh
option
no, I
for us.
would have never
He's
given
a
that
fine
either.
third option, but he's no number one option long term because of the ages part of it. Also, his health is another part of it. But if he can stay healthy this year, next year, we don't trade him. Maybe bring him back as a third option to pair with who you drafted this year. Maybe one of our homegrown guys in this year's draft breaks out to a secondary star. Like you want your homegrown guys, I think, to be the stars in a certain way for this. If you want to do it right, or if not, you go out and get that said star. But I think some people are very desperate to make MPJ the number one guy because they believe they won't get any big talent or this draft won't go in our favor. You can't gamble on that. If you want to keep the guy as the third option, I get it. But if you overpay this guy in 2 years to be a superstar, we're going to fall flat on our asses and be a mediocre middle team. And I don't want that for us.
No, I
Uh,
don't want to overpay him. That's for sure.
no,
Yeah.
I'm not saying overpay him or anything. Because mind you, the older you get, and mind you, with your injury history and everything like that,
Right.
I can't give you that money.
Right.
I could
Look at
give
Chris
you I
Middleton.
could give
Chris
you a
Middleton was a
third
great third
yeah.
option for the Bucks, but what
I could
broke
give
him
you third
down?
option money.
Injuries.
Yeah, I could
Remember
give you third option money.
Remember how great Chris Middleton was for the Bucks? That guy was a catch and shoot guy. That's who MPJ reminds me of. Chris Middleton, man. That guy was a catch and shoot bucket goal, man, for the Bucks. He was a big reason we lost because that guy was so great offensively. That's why I see in MPJ, he's that perfect guy you could put next to a superstar because he can give you a 20, 25, 30 points next to that. That's a component, but it's not the main piece because if you run MPJ into the ground with this,
I'm
like
not.
some
I'm not
people want
comparing
it, then
MPJ
you're
to no
screwed.
goddamn Chris Middleton, bro. I'm sorry. I'm like.
Not
I'm
even
like.
Chris Middleton. I listen. We're all in agreement. He's no Kevin Durant. You, me, Leaf. We were fully against that. But Chris Middleton, I'm willing to see that. as a third
Chris
option.
Middleton, well. If that's the case, then his third option days are behind him because he's already won as a third option, just like Chris Middleton did. So realistically, bro, like if you want to compare third option to third option when they won their championship, that's fine. But MPJ, I'm not gonna sit here and act like MPJ don't have an elite ability. I'm not gonna sit here and act like MPJ don't have an elite ability as a shooter. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and act like MPJ don't have an elite ability as a shooter. What I will say is that the number one option, it goes way beyond just shooting, bro. Like
Right.
the only person to really prove that he could be a number one option on a winning team with that set ability alone was Steph, and that I don't think the NBA don't get caught with the same shit twice again, two times over. They just don't. You know what I'm saying, bro? All of the Michael Jordan clones are not winners, bro. All of the Steph clones are not winners. All of the Shaq and whatchamacallit clones are not winners. And even though they don't exist no more, the NBA, when it comes to number one options, bro, like the trend gets older every 60 seconds. So you really got to find out, bro, like who can be a true and number one option for you. Not a number
Right.
one option in the league, but a number one option for you. Because
Right. And Claxton and MPJ are temporary one or two guys, but long term, you don't want that. And Claxton, if he wasn't making the crazy money, he'd be like a fourth or fifth option as at the highest. So it's like this is fine right now, but it's not great long term. And if you want to keep MPJ, I totally understand that. He makes sense as a third option or even a secondary option if you get a great superstar, in free agency or the trade market, or you draft that said star. Like I understand the pros would keep it MPJ, but the Claxton thing, it's like you don't want these two guys making over $60 million a year cap. You need to create some space there. And that's why
Yeah.
for this deadline that starts next Monday, it starts next Monday on the 15th, ends on February 5th. There are some guys here that we can flip for assets. There's some guys who just don't fit what we're trying to build. I think for the Nets front offices, you really got to figure out who you're going to keep to play with Clowney, Yegor, Powell, Wolf, even Seraph if he keeps doing what he's doing, and Nolan. That's your future right there. And I get it. You want to have the right vets around them, but are a lot of these guys the right vets? Or are they valuable commodities to get you the right vets eventually when you have the full flexibility to go get a big superstar or you draft said superstar? We still don't have the 1A guy. And MPJ is fine playing the 1A guy, but he ain't the 1A guy. And I think that's what me and Leaf are just trying to say to people is this is fine and dandy right now, but this guy will be 30 in 2 years. He's not going to keep doing this for the next 4 to 5 years to give
No,
us a
no.
championship
I
window
don't
by
I
himself.
don't think he's a 5 year, or
No.
4 year
No,
project.
I
No.
don't think he's a 5 or 4 year project, bro. However, I don't like the 4 or 5 year project for us might not even be in the draft. It might be in the league already. To
Right,
be
Maybe.
honest with you,
exactly.
bro,
Maybe.
like and I can't give no said name because if
We
Breezy
don't
was in
know.
here, bro, that's what he'd be looking for.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
I need a name. I need a name. I need somebody
I,
that's
I,
gonna
I
like,
would
Well,
but
say I
because
would
you
say
never
because the
know.
thing because the thing is, bro, like the reality about a good amount of Nets fans, bro, I keep telling people this: the fan base is divided into three groups. You got the tankers on one side. You got the hey man, I just want to be happy on the other side. The we believe niggas, bro. They just gonna believe in anything that look like a success story, bro. And then you got the rest, everybody else, bro, that's sitting in part three. That's what
I,
it
I
really is.
Breezy did want a name, but if we're out of the honest sweepstakes, I'm looking at Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs. The Cavs have not been dominant
I'm not
whatsoever
looking
this
at
season.
Donovan Mitchell ever again, bro, as a
No,
number one option, bro.
no,
Is
not
it?
listen. Him and MPJ that could work potential on the Brooklyn Nets. If you get
No.
Donovan Mitchell, you could have Yegor, Mitchell, MPJ, Clowney, and Wolf. You could have Wolf
The
playmaking
re- the
abilities. You have
reason the reason why I don't like it is because it's listen. The thing is, the one thing that made the MPJ as a champion thing work is the fact that Joker, bruh, is a willing passer. Donovan Mitchell, a profile as a basketball player doesn't read willing passer. It doesn't read I'm gonna be able to find any and everybody. It doesn't read I listen. I know what's going on the floor, bro. Like, and I could get everybody in the lineup to double digits. It doesn't read that, bro. Like the reality about players like NPJ is that as a number one option we always wanted to see what it looked like because MPJ, bro, without the if the back injuries never happened, that's what he was basically promised. That's basically what he was going to be promised. You know what I'm saying? So like the reality is that it's happening now, but it just so happened to happen on a team that's just so far in the basement, and they just now starting to win, and they won against some teams that's really not really worth a damn in the league. You
Like
know what I'm
G
saying?
League,
So but the reality, we saw what this shit looked like when him and Cam Thomas started the season, and them niggas was both splitting for 30 balls, bro, and we were still losing.
They weren't even playing well. I'll be honest with you. MPJ and Cam was not working whatsoever. Basically, everybody was watching Cam just score a lot. Like, nobody was playing this team style, defensive oriented basketball. And as soon as you move Clowney to the starting four, things started shifting with MPJ and Claxton's game. And Cam out the equation,
maybe you,
the
maybe
offense
you,
has been
maybe you
way
shouldn't
more
start
interesting.
Cam.
I keep
No,
saying to
I
Breezy
don't
that if
know.
Cam,
If you don't start Cam, then you impede the progress of the rookies, bro, when they come back. So because the rookies is already on 15 legitimate bench minutes, bro, like per rookie, and we playing four of them. It's not another team in this league that's playing four rookies for 15 plus minutes a game.
You
We
got
are
that.
that
right,
Yeah.
team.
right. And they said Cam has a reevaluation in 2 weeks. If he comes back, it has to be as a six man. I keep saying to Breezy that if you want Cam to be in a role that suits him, six man is most ideal because he can run the second unit, can put all the defensive pieces you want around him, and that should work. But the thing is, with Nolan playing so well in the G League and him probably want to get called up soon, you also have Sharaf as well want minutes. So it's like Cam really will be like part of the deep end of the bench if he doesn't accept that role. And I just think at the end of the day, that relationship is so fractured that even if we wanted to find a way to fix this with Cam, I think Cam's mind is set where it's like, you didn't give me the opportunity to start, you didn't give me the trust, the long term security,
Yeah.
so maybe I'll just
Yeah.
take my ball and run with it. And we also have rookies that want to get minutes at
But
at, at the role he wants. So it's tough.
I
You
want
got to make
to.
a
I want to
decision.
bring X Ruler. Shooting is the last ability to expect a big move this summer. The front office and the GM made it clear that they were only tanking for 3 years. Yeah, this market doesn't require a long period of time. You know, this
It
market,
doesn't.
you got to get busy.
Yeah,
Well,
you
that's
yeah
just more.
you got to get to work right away, bro.
You got to get busy.
And when you're rushing to make everything work, you're gonna make mistakes.
Right, right. Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah.
make mistakes where, like, bro, listen. One thing I could tell Nets fans, and I need y'all to hear this. Listen, championships are not promised. There's a reason why Oklahoma City did not celebrate that championship like that because they already know it wasn't gotten through the mud. It was gotten by a lot of luck. A lot of shit went their way, especially in that game 7. But the footnote about that championship is going to read Halliburton injury. It's
Yep.
not going to read they dominated. It's not going to read 68 wins. It's not going to read top 5 defensive rating of all time. It's not going to read
They,
that.
they they fought hard to even get to the finals. That game against the Nuggets, that was what changed it for them. And at the end of the day, the Nuggets did have I think what was it a 3-2 advantage. They could have won against them, but that was before Gordon hurt his hamstring. So I give it to OKC. They, to be the youngest roster to ever win a championship, well, second youngest. There was a younger roster before them, but to be the second youngest ever do it was impressive. I just think at the end of the day, for a team like the Nets and those other teams, you're playing for second place right now. So if you're going to want to eventually compete against the big dogs, you got to make a big move. Now, if it's not Giannis, I say Mitchell. I know Leaf disagrees, but Mitchell, what he is great at is scoring. We need a great scorer on this team. You already have defensive components, you have youth, you have all these different things. You need your number 1A guy. And if it's not in the draft this year, if someone don't get top 4, you got to consider Donovan Mitchell because if it's not Mitchell or Giannis, then who? There's not many other superstars available. There's baggage, secondary stars available that we probably want nothing to do with. The LaMelo Balls, the Trey Youngs, the Zions, like that's probably something we don't want to do. So the Nets have options, but if you let the best options go past you, you're stuck with secondary options. So the Nets' decisions from now till next summer are basically going to define where we're going to be at next year and possibly the year after that. Like the Nets have to make the right decisions. If it's investing in MPJ and Clarkson as your one or two guys, I think we're really set back if that's what we're doing. It
Yeah,
has to be this
I don't know. I'll
organization
be
here.
honest with you. I think,
that
in all honesty, this CBA is not
changed the
really
way the
it's not
game.
really built for everybody to win.
No, it changed the game.
It really
Lee.
changed. It really changed a lot of things. The thing is, What everything after the KD trade was just managing contracts and making sure you don't go
Yeah,
over the cap.
the money dictate what you capable of doing.
Hmm.
Yeah, but ex ruler was right. Only one team can win. The reason you push is it's because in the East it's a two-man race at the top. You make it to the finals, you have a 50-50 chance. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's why
every team that makes it to the finals got a
Everybody's saying,
chance.
nothing, bro. I'm not buying that.
You don't think
I'm
so,
not
Lee?
buying that 2 man. I'm not buying that 2 man race in the East, bro. Because
What you
Indiana proved that it wasn't
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, we watched Miami go to the finals
a
and
couple of years ago
they
with
were a
that
play
roster that they
in
had.
team. They were a play in
They
team.
were a playing team. We watched them. We watched them basically walk to the finals, bro, with no problem. You know what I'm saying? So, like, realistically, I think first off, the teams that's winning are the teams that's from 1 to 9, bro. Got pure like a pure production from 1 to 9, and
What you
we've
think?
seen it since Boston.
Continuity?
We seen it last year with OKC and Indiana. Two teams from 1 to 9, bro. That could go to a roster and go through their bench and be okay.
And now you got
Con-
Detroit. Now you got Detroit in the category, and they have a 1 and 2 in Duran and Cade right now. They're a third option away from being legitimately part of a contention potentially because they have depth in the East. I would say they probably have some of the best depth. I guess Knicks had the second best depth, but their depth I don't think is crazy better than what it was last year. And then Miami, they're a wild card. Magic, they have finally woken up. I think they're the biggest threat to everybody because defensively, they're one of those teams you don't want to face in a first round because you're going to go through it with them. So I would say Magic. I would say Magic and Pistons.
She's using that side.
Yeah, but listen, all I know is, bro, like, I'll be honest with you, the option maybe not be MPJ. The option it might be somebody that's on this team already.
yeah, you
Like, the
gotta
thing is,
find out.
bro, like, you listen, in this NBA, you got to prove that you can at least grow up. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? But at the same time, I don't think our market is built for the waiting game.
Nah, it's not. It's not.
It's
I don't
it's
think our market is built for somebody to come out right. If our
Come out the
market is built for the
blocks.
draft, is built for somebody to come out and be that dog right from the gate.
Yep.
all right.
I totally agree with you with that, Lee.
And I gotta be honest with you, bro. Like, Cam Boozer, AJ DeBonsa, Peterson, as good as they are for where they are going to end up, they don't give me 20 and 10 out of the gate. Then I'm not buying this whole, bro. They gonna be dogs. They might be dogs down the line. They might be great players down the line. But out of the gate, bro, like at 1, 2, or number 3, bro, you want that out of the gate franchise, a switching player out of the gate. That's
I
what you
do.
want.
I don't want to,
I do. I do. That's for sure.
and I don't want to
Yeah,
sit
of
here
course we
and
all
make it
do. But the
seem like
fact of
the
the matter
tambourine.
is, bro, as good as this draft is, bro, as good as the top 3 players are, and as much as they're dogging in college right now, listen. Here's the thing: we knew Shaq was gonna be a dog out of the gate if you understood and you watched. You knew Blake Griffin, you knew LeBron, you knew Jordan, you knew Olajuwon, you knew a lot of these. You knew Tim Duncan was gonna be a dog out of the gate. If you're telling me Cam Boozer gives you Tim Duncan vibes, fine, but he better be dogging and he better be on a same trajectory that the Spurs was on from 1997 all the way to
He's
2017 out of the gate. If he
he's
ain't, bruh, I'm coming back to these conversations and I'm telling people you lied to me.
Listen, at the end of the day, having the chance to have a franchise homegrown prospect, someone we've never had in Brooklyn Nets history. If we wake up on lottery odds day, that's in May, and we're picked number 4 or 3 or 2 or 1, I'm excited because we finally have a chance to draft a franchise guy to be a part of who we drafted this year, and now you have a core 6 going forward with MPJ possibly, which now gives you a legit chance to maybe build a contention in the next 1 or 2 years. I can understand all that, but it has to happen first. But if not, if it's a 6 to 8 pick, then we have to make a big move, like you said, because we can't just wait 3 to 4 to 5 years for it being our time. The East might turn to the freaking West. You never know.
The
So for the
East might
Nets,
turn
your
into the
window is
West, but
right now.
in terms of our drafting, bro, to me, and I might be wrong about this. To me, the only person that looked like he could put a franchise on his back from day one, in my personal opinion, is Cam Boozer. The rest of these dudes look like they might need a couple of years. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. They talent. I understand they talent and their athletic ability, bro. But they ain't. They not coming in being the top athletes, bro. Like in the game,
I would
you
say
know.
Caleb Wilson has proved a lot of people. I wasn't expecting Wilson to be top four, but this guy defensively, he's doing a lot, and his height is bigger than he looks. And for him to have the athletic ability of what the boss has, that's what made me jump going, damn. And then he has a midi shot. He can shoot a three, but his defense, all NBA defense at a college age, that's something where it goes, man, if Jordy had somebody like that, because Jordy, one of his biggest things to take over his team was, I was going to make this team a top elite defensive team. If we get Wilson, pair that with Drake Powell, we're going to have a defensive team. Then it's about finding the offensive focal points that could go with a guy like an MPJ. So there's some great things to like at the top of the draft. With Boozer, he's already got the physical body before he steps a foot in the NBA court. That's rare for rookies to have the NBA body. And Dabasa, he's an athlete. He can score all over the court. He can defend. He can play make. He's got a little bit of everything, almost like what Cooper Flag was in past draft. But I think Dabasa has even more skill set on the offensive side than Cooper had last year. So there's a lot to like with top four, but you got to get there first. And for the Nets, if they botch this somehow, you got to make a decision. Are we going with MPJ as a temporary top guy, or we actually going after a big fish that's available and then actually try to compete for something? Because the Nets can't wait 3 to 4 years where the East gets as crazy as the West. Then you lost your window. Then you're just fighting to be relevant. We actually
Yeah.
have the flexibility and picks to build a winning formula, but this draft is pretty much crucial towards getting there at least.
Well, yeah, if they get a top draft, then it definitely would help. If they don't get a top draft, then then it is what it is.
Exactly.
But you still don't sit there and think that it won't work. It still might work. Like I said, this market does not is induced of waiting 4 or 5 years for players to get developed. It's going to be terrible.
That's never been the
If you
Nets
look at the
market.
Knicks, if you look at the Knicks, and I hate to even talk about it, but they playing well right now. If they don't win the title this year, listen to what everybody is going to be saying. Listen to the media. If they don't even make it to the finals, listen to how they're going to get ragged out in the media here.
I know what they're going to say. Why'd you trade 6 picks for a role player named
Right.
Minkel?
Or why did you get rid of the coach? Why did you get rid of homeboy? Why you do this? Why? Who's this guy? Why you paying him? They're gonna be looking to get rid of people.
Right.
This market in New York is no joke.
It's not, but that's why there's teams in the East that are eventually going to have to break things up. The Cavs this year, they're what, like 14 and 11? They were supposed to like back up what they did last year because this is an important year for them. They're a second apron team.
Yeah.
They're the only second apron team in the NBA, which means you're either winning or you're losing. And for them right now, if they don't win this year, they're going to have to break up that core four of Garland, Mitchell, Mobley, and Allen. They might have to try to break up Garland and Allen first to still build around Mobley and Mitchell. But if Mitchell doesn't feel like he has a team around him and it's just Mobley, and we expected a big year from Mobley, it hasn't been quite a big year. If they have to break up that core, that's another team that could be on the dissension because they have
Yeah.
no picks right now. So it's
Yeah.
them. Philly might have to break up the front court with George and Embiid because their injuries are not helping their backcourt, stay up like they want to in the echelon of the East right now. So there are some teams that are going to be faced with a lot of difficult decisions as far as their rosters go. Where the Nets,
Yeah.
they're not beholden to anybody right now besides MPJ and Claxton's contracts,
Right.
but you don't want to
Right.
make those guys your main parts of your identity if you're trying to
No.
win it all. MPJ is the second or third guy. There's some movement there, but Claxton, I just see his contract as being movable because you have Danny Wolf, and you want to get maybe another big that could actually do more on the defensive
I
end.
just want to see Danny Wolf play more. The time has started already for like that. This is the second year, right? The push start next season. He also said something. Ex ruler. The Knicks window is 2 to 3 years. They have to sell soon due to the CBA. Yeah. See that's the part that I'm trying to make is whether these rookies that coming out, if we don't get the right one to come out the block, then it's futile. I
Right.
think honestly, I'm gonna tell you right now, losing is bad karma in the locker room. I'm
No,
telling
you're right.
you. And
And
after a while, it weighs on you as a player. The
right.
repeat attacks is why the you see the Celtics tanking. Knicks are in that territory. Yeah,
Celtics aren't taking right now. They've been winning a lot of games recently, and Jalen Brown's looked like one of the best stars in the East as a secondary now top option. And they have young players. But I give it to Brad Stevens. That guy was a genius to trade Porzingis and Drew Holiday without having to give up one first round draft pick. That's insane chess. And now they have a bunch of young players: Namas Quetas, Jordan Walsh. These guys are killing it right now, alongside Brown, Derek White, and Peyton Pritchard. Like they're a team that's not want to tank right now, which is crazy because I thought they would and try
right.
to get another like a balance to the pair with Tatum and Brown. But I think they understand. I think Tatum, the fact he's looking like Wolverine coming back from that Achilles injury, there might be a chance he comes back at the end of the season. And if they can keep their heads above water before playoffs, the Celtics are right back at the top, which is
Yeah,
insane because that's
yeah,
not supposed to happen. But if they don't want to be a part of this lottery, that works for us. But I agree, the Knicks are 2 to 3 years away from having to break it up because they might not want to re-sign Towns. That's probably the main trade piece to get Giannis. But if you get Giannis to the Knicks, they have to give up all their remaining capital. They might have to move a contract or two with Towns. So they're essentially going to be Giannis and Brunson, whatever else is left, maybe Mikal Bridges, but that's it. They'll have no picks at that point. And it
right.
might be the repeater tax where you have to win or you break it up. And I think if they don't win this year, the window's definitely getting smaller. And we have their picks. So I hope they don't get Giannis because I'd be a little worried because I feel like next year's pick wouldn't be as good. So
Right,
that would
right.
be something I wouldn't want to happen. But they would have to go all in on Giannis. They're not going to get Giannis with Towns and a pick. That's not going to. I don't think Bucks are that stupid. But that's
Honestly,
definitely something to account for.
I think the Nets are actually going to try to make a play for Giannis.
I wanted them to, but Jake Fisher said that's not the Nets' mindset. That their mindset is preserving this pick. But if that's the case,
Of
besides the
course.
rookies and Clowney, you should be listening on trade speculation for everybody on this team. Even Zaire Dayron, MPJ Claxton, Cam Haywood, and Terrence Mann. Hell, Wilson and Tyrese Moore if you want to throw them in as salary fillers. Besides the rookies and Clowney, everybody should be on the trade block right now because if you keep going as is, you might screw yourself out of top four picks. So if you miss out on Giannis, then you better damn well get a top four pick because it's rare that a guy of Giannis's ilk and caliber is available for a trade, no matter where you're at. And the
Yeah,
Nets are literally a 1A superstar away from actually competing in the East because you have MPJ, you have Danny Wolf, Yeager, and Powell, young rotation members. It's like you have the picks and you have the flexibility. If you don't go after Giannis and you don't make smart trades at the deadline and you don't get a top four pick, the Nets really missed the boat on taking advantage of rare opportunities to really move yourself forward because you can't do this organically. The Nets have never been known to do this fully organically, and you can't waste opportunities either. But that's what's worrisome with this front office. It feels like they're going to wait till it's late to go after a big fish. And by then, that
yeah,
big fish might be past their prime.
yeah,
You don't
yeah.
want it.
Yeah, so I would like to, I'm gonna end it now, John. But I like to thank you and
No
Leaf
problem.
and Jamal, X Ruler in the chat. Thank you for your comments. I'll be back on tomorrow around the same time. Where they can meet you at, John?
Scott, great conversations as always, and I hope everybody has a wonderful December, holiday, Christmas, and almost Happy New Year. I hope everybody has a
Yeah,
great holiday
no
season. If
doubt,
you want,
no doubt.
yeah, everyone talk fun basketball, follow me on my Twitter at everythingbkns John. Trade deadline starts in a week. The Nets are in a lot of conversations, but what matters is the Nets not only preserve their future this year, but they get their future in the offseason of the draft lottery, and we go from there. But I wish the best for the Brooklyn Nets always. I want us to get back to competitive winning basketball next year. It's just decisions from now till then are going to be
It's,
super important to see if
it's
we get
super
there.
important, super
Super.
important.
But thanks for having
Yeah,
me on,
thanks a
Scott.
lot. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Support the page. I'll try to keep it up. All right. Thank you guys. Later.
Peace.